Welcome back everybody to another deck profile here with Kyle Chris. And today I have something very special for you guys. It's another garlic deck, I know. But I was building one of the decks that I have coming out probably the next few weeks. And I came across this idea. I actually was going to put in that deck, but I started looking at some of the cards with garlic and I came up with a very interesting idea for garlic. Now I know you guys have probably watched the red-yellow deck, and I really like that deck. I think this one's slightly better because I think this deck has some more synergy, and I think in the future this deck will probably be a more of a variation of this deck. Now, I know the big thing with this leader, as you guys know, is I wish this leader was really good. It's not. So this is more of a just a concept deck. I would love to see this deck being able to be played in the future. I just think there's a lot of things that need to go right for this leader to be good, and I think maybe we'll get it in the future, but right now this is what I got for you guys. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think of this concept. I put a lot of effort into coming up with this idea, and I haven't seen it yet, so maybe I did something right. We'll figure it out. You swing, you draw. You also have Overlord, so you can bottom deck servant cards to draw one. That's kind of the main concept of the deck. You awaken at 4 life. You're restand 1, draw 1. Honestly, if this was if this was an untapped 2 leader, I think this leader would be much better. But the fact that it's a draw 1, untap 1, it's okay. This side, you draw, you do the same thing. You also have Overlord on this side, and then your autos. When one of your opponent's cards attacks, you get to play a demon clan with skills negated, right? No. I'm sorry. You get to play a 2-drop demon clan from your hand for free. And then it comes in rest mode, and then you can't do that for the rest of the turn, right? Yeah. So it's a very defensive-ish type of deck until you get later on in the game. We'll kind of go over that a little bit. So the basic stuff that you should run in every garlic deck is the Makio Star combination. So in this deck, we're only running a 2-2 split. Makio Star comes into play. You search top 5. Yeah, top 5. You search top 5 for a yellow demon clan, add it to your hand, and then at the end of every one of your turns, you can play a demon clan with its skills negated for the turn. There's only one target you want to do that for, which I'll show you guys that. This guy searches out from the deck, so you actually can pitch this card from your hand to search this card out, and then you can play this card out on turn 1. So this is one of your turn 1 plays. Once you have it on board, the other one's probably just going to end up being charged. You can keep this card in your hand. You can just use this combo power. You're never going to play this guy unless you're playing Xenocell, because then you can go towards the 12 cost, but other than that, you're not going to play him. So you want to mulligan for one of these cards. Respectively, if you mulligan for both of these, I would put Makio Star back and keep this card, because then this card will just remove this from your deck, and then you're gonna search it out anyways, and just kind of gives you some cycle. So this is one of your turn 1 plays. Now we have the servants. So we have 3 Master Roshi. Master Roshi, one of the servants who has the servant tag. So yeah, we run a 3-3 and 4 split with the servant. So all of these have servant, meaning they gain 10k power and they cannot be restood during your charge phase. You can use abilities to restand them, but they cannot restand on their own. So basically they're all 20ks. This guy is the main card you want to play off of the ability. You can technically run 4 if you so choose. I think there is a case where running 3 of this and maybe 2 of the Roshi is a better combination. But that's completely up to the person who's playing the deck. I think 3 and 4 is fine. You want to see 4 of this card. This is the main one you want. So maybe you can do, I would say you can probably do that. You can probably do a 4-4-2 split here. So we'll go over what Roshi does. Roshi, when his card's played, you draw a card. Can't activate autos for the duration of the turn, and it's a 20k body. So the idea is this: we have the ability to play this guy out for free off of this ability here, or off of other abilities. We play this card, we draw a card, we swing, then we bottom deck it to draw 2. So basically, it's a 2-drop 20k swing that draws 2, which is powerful. But since we can only activate the auto once per turn, we only need to really see 1 so we can cycle it. If we see more than 1, the card just kind of becomes either combo fodder or targets for other things that the opponent's trying to do. So we'll try to limit that and just kind of focus on, you know, attacking and bottom decking it and that kind of stuff. So Yamcha, he's a blocker. That's it. But he's a 20k blocker, so you want to play him out on your first turn if you can. And he's able to block an attack, and then since he can't restand, you can bottom deck him, draw a card. So it's basically just a draw one for free that blocks an attack. This is very good. Chi-Chi is the best Demon Clan out of the servants. So when she comes into play, you get to choose a battle card or a unison on your opponent's board and put in rest mode. That's really good, especially since you can play this off of your leader ability. So if your opponent swings with leader first, you can play this in rest mode and tap a unison, tap a battle card, and then that's really good, just for free, which is insane. So also it's a card that you can bottom deck as well. So we have those. 2 Vinegar. This card, I actually hated this card when I first kind of looked at the deck, and then I looked at it and I said, okay, this card's actually not that bad. So this card, you get to search top 5 for a Demon Clan that costs 2 or less, play it in rest mode. That's really good, especially off of your leader ability. If you can play this card out, so you play this card out for free, then you have to search top 5. If you find a Demon Clan, you get to play that one out, and it doesn't negate their skills, right? It doesn't negate their skills. So you can play out a Chi-Chi in rest mode, which then will tap something. You can play out Yamcha would be useless, but you can play out Roshi as well, and then draw a card. Now they do come in rest mode, so that is kind of a problem. But getting more Demon Clans on board actually is very important in this deck because it is one of our great defensive options. But this is a very good card for that reason. I really like it. Yeah, I'm not going to play this out for 2 energy ever. Basically, I'm going to hold this card in my hand, and I'm going to use it off my leader ability to play it, search top 5, and then search for one of these 2, and then play that card. And then, like I said, if I get a chance to play Chi-Chi, that's great because then I can just play Chi-Chi and then tap something, or I can play Roshi and then draw another card. And like I said, it helps activate your defensive skill for later on in the game. So. Yeah, very good. It's a very good card. Yeah, so the only concept with this card is you just can't play itself. It also has Overlord too, where you can play it out for 1 energy if you bottom deck a card. So you can do that as well if you want to kind of speed up your process a little bit. You can, if you bottom deck an Overlord, a servant card, you can play this out for 1, search top 5, play out a Demon Clan that's 2 or less in rest mode, and then you get that effect too. So you can play one of these or whatever. So just gives you some extra draw power. Now we get into the Garlic engine. So we run a 3-3 split of the expansion pack and then the Garlic card. Reason is, once the card's on the board, it's almost never going to leave unless you're playing against yellow and it can negate the ability. Other than that, this card's just going to sit there. So this card can come out for 1 whenever you activate Overlord skill. You can pay 1 yellow, play this card out. It's got an indestructible once it hits the field, and it's got a unique. This card, when you activate Overlord, you can tap this card to KO one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, which is an interesting effect. But the main effect is you play this guy on top of him. Now, so he comes into play. This is the 30k crit with indestructible and unique, which is the only bad part about it, which is why we only run 3. So unique is a lot of people not going to be able to kill through 30k. There's decks obviously that you can negate, you can remove the skills, that kind of stuff, but it just can't be removed from the battle area other than that. His activate main, you can look at the bottom card of your deck. If it's a Demon Clan, yeah. So if it is a 2 or less Demon Clan, you get to play it. So any of your Demon Clan cards. So these, this, or this. Also, I guess you can play this as well. So any of these cards here, as you guys can see so far, you actually can play these cards out. And he also has Overlord as well. So technically, on your Awaken turn, if you want to be able to Overlord something on this side to draw a card, play this, Awaken, and then Overlord again, and then you have Overlord here. So you technically have 3 draws off of cards. So you have this guy, you can do it too. He's probably the worst one. Yamcha is the one you want to do at the end of your turn. So if you've done all your stuff, you can activate main on this, play this guy back out, and then now you have a free blocker. You can play Chi-Chi out if you want to tap something. So it's really good So it's really funny when your opponent has like a blocker or like a blocker unison. So you can activate Garlic, play her out, tap down the unison, swing 20, and then bottom deck it again. And now you have that option for next turn. You have Roshi, which allows you to draw a card. So what's really good is if you already have Roshi on the board and you drew off of whatever, you can swing with them, bottom deck him, draw a card, and then play him back out with this, draw another card, swing, and then bottom deck with your leader, and then draw another card. So once you can get 2 swings and 3 draws out of him. And then also you have Vinegar, obviously, so you can play out Vinegar, search top 5, play out one of these cards, and then do the same thing. So you can play him out. A really cool ability that you can do is if you reveal him off the Garlic, play him, search top 5, play one of these. So let's say you play like Roshi or whatever. You can play Roshi, comes into rest mode, and then shuffle. Then use one of your Overlord abilities, put him on the bottom of the deck. Next turn, use this, play it back out, or bottom deck him and one of these, and then next turn play this back out and then do the same thing. So very interesting concept. Just some of the demon clans that you can play it off of. That's it. Yeah, so this is kind of the main. This is kind of the main concept of the deck, of being how you're going to end games. And the problem is that this isn't enough. When Garlic gets another 5-drop or another Garlic card that has double strike or has more abilities on it, I think this deck will be really, really good. But until then, we don't have that. So honestly, also we need a Garlic that can evolve off of something more than just a 3-drop, because like, he kind of falls into the Bojack syndrome, where there's other Bojack cards that are 3-drops or 4-drops or 2-drops, but he can only evolve off of 3-drops. So kind of a little silly, but so that's the Garlic package there. Now we get into the fun part of the deck. So we are running the AOD chain. I know it's really strange, but I will kind of explain as I go here. So the idea was, I was looking at it, I'm like, okay, what is a good concept that I can use as a mid-game value that makes the deck feel like I'm getting something out of it other than just bottom decking these cards. So what I did was I came up with AOD. So we run 3 of the Bobbities. This card makes all of our Demon Clan, I'm sorry, not of Demon Clan, all of our Agents of Destruction that have no specific cost, and reduces their cost by 1. He's a 1-drop barrier. So most decks, he should be able to dodge most decks. So he'll just sit there the whole game, and you have the ability to start playing out AOD cards cheaper. So obviously we're not going to charge blue, because that just kind of seems silly in the deck. So we're going to use this guy to play him out, hopefully. So if we see this card in our hand, we're going to bottom deck it. We're going to mulligan this card away. We do not want this card in our hand. We want the Hatchiak card in our hand. So you play out Hatchiak for 1, search the drop area or your deck for one of these, play it out, and this card goes to the drop area. This card also can come out for 2 energy later on in the game. You get the warp of 4 or less, and then you put cards back from your opponent's deck into back into their deck. It's okay, but mainly he's going to be here just to put this card on the board. Okay, so that's the Bibbidi engine there. So we have six targets for Bibbidi. This is another one of your turn 1 plays as well. We have the Agent's Destruction Strike Back. So this is a very interesting card. So this card gains the Agent of Destruction trait everywhere, and when you play this card, you search top 2, take any cards that have Agent of Destruction in their name, and then put the rest of them at the bottom of your deck in any order. You can activate the copies of this card for the turn, and then you get to take a life. What's interesting is that this is a 1 cost, and this card makes it free. This is also a yellow, so you can also charge this card later on in the game. But if you have this card on the board, you actually can play this for free. Search top 2. If you have AOD cards on both of those, you can take both AOD cards. This also counts as AOD, and then you can take a life. So you have a little bit of self-awakening in there. You also have just very good draw power, and that's a very good thing to have in this deck. Also, especially if we're stranded at 5 life, we can play this for free. Search top 2. Let's say we hit any of our demon clans. This card says we can bottom deck them in any order. So let's say we draw 1 Agent of Destruction and we draw a demon clan of whatever type. We can bottom deck that card, take the other card, awaken, and then use this ability to then search at the card in the bottom and play it out. So you have a very interesting cycle. It's almost like you're playing the bottom deck super combo, but you're using one of these. So it's a very interesting effect. So we have this card here. I'll get to that card in a second. We have 3 Turles. So this is one of the main. Actually, yeah, we'll go into that card first. That card actually makes the most sense. So we'll go into the all-star of all of these cards, which is the Garlic Jr. Agents of Destruction. I really liked this card when it came out. Like, oh, this is really cool. And then I started looking at the deck. I'm like, oh, wait, this is the Demon Clan. That's really cool. So this card counts for this effect. This card counts for this effect. This card also counts for, sorry, I'm a little sloppy here. This card also counts for this effect. So this is very interesting. So what this card says, negate the attack. So this is a battle card negate. Comes out for 1 energy if you have a Bibbidi on board. So 1 yellow, or I mean one of anything regardless, but he's also yellow, so we can charge him. When this card's played, search your deck, play out an Agent of Destruction 2 or less other than copies of this card, and shuffle your deck. So what's cool is that we'll go over kind of what the concept is here. So Makio Star can search this card out because it's a 2 or less Saiyan. Actually, I mean that not a Saiyan. It's a yellow Demon Clan, and this card has no energy cost. Just search just for a yellow Demon Clan. So in the future, this card could be really, really nuts. But you can search this card out. So you play this, search this out. You have Vinegar. So on your leader ability, you can play Vinegar off of this. And then you can search your deck. Then you can play one of these. And then you can play an Agent of Destruction card off of that. Not obviously you may not want to do that in every case because you want to use him as a negate. But it's pretty good. You also have the ability to do that with Garlic. So this is actually a cool concept here because this actually gives you an extra swing, like an extra interesting swing. So you can use this. Let's say you have one of these in the bottom of your deck. You can play this card out. Auto kicks in. Play out an Agent of Destruction card. You can play out any of your 2-drops from the deck. So this card doesn't count. I have 2 drops left still that I can show you guys. So you can play one of those out. And I have 3 swings. You have a 30k crit swing, a 15k crit swing, and another 15k swing. So also it counts as a Demon Clan, which works for another card that we'll go over in the deck here. Next one's going to be the Turles. So this is your barrier guy. This is normally your first target off of Garlic. You play him. He's a 15k. You swing. You get to search top 5 for Angel of Destruction card, and add it to your hand, then shuffle. That effect is somewhat useful. It's not always useful, especially with this ability. We want to be able to know the bottom card of our deck. So that can kind of get a little iffy sometimes. It's the same thing with Vinegar though, because Vinegar does the same thing. When you search, and then you have to shuffle. So, but it is a 15k swing that has barrier and it can net you another card as well. And then we run 1 Slug Super Combo, who is also playable off of this card. When this card's in play, anytime your opponent activates a counterplay skill, they have to pitch 2 cards from their hand. That's pretty good, and that's it's not a once per turn. So if they activate a counterplay, it's not counterattack, unfortunately. So if they activate counterplays though, they have to pitch 2 cards. So it is a good card to play out because you just play it out. It's you can swing with it. If it's 15k body, you can't combo with this card and draw cards, so you're not really doing it for that. You just play it, keep it on board. But this card can search out any of these. And that's the small AOD package that's in the deck. It's a very interesting concept. It's a very small idea. It doesn't run many cards, but just the idea of it with this being able to put cards at the bottom of the deck. This plays this out. This makes this card cost 1. And this card can play out these. And this card's also searchable by all of our Demon Clan stuff. So just a very interesting concept. It's trying something a little bit different. And also 2 of those cards are yellow, so you have the ability to charge those as well. So we have that for the Demon Clan part, the Demon Clan / AOD portion. Now we get into the utility of the deck. So the number 1 negate we run is going to be Energy Field. So this card says counterattack, negate the attack, and if you have 4 or more Demon Clans in play, your opponent. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. You can if you have 4 more yellow Demon Clan cards in play, your opponent can only attack once more for the turn. So it's a better Nimbus in a sense because you don't have to pitch a card, and it's just 1 more attack. So it's not just battle cards. Also, the permanent says if you have 4 more Demon Clans, this card can be played for free. So if you tap out and you have 4 or more Demon Clans on board, you can play this card out for free. So what's interesting is the idea is your leader, you get to play something like Vinegar from your hand, which counts as a Demon Clan. This card also counts as a Demon Clan. So that's 2 there. If you have one of these on board, that's 3. let's say you use this or you negate an attack. Now you have 4 Demon Clans on board. Because this card counts as a Demon Clan, that's why it's so good, because it is a negate. So you can play this, tap out, play whatever card off of it, and then your leader ability kicks in. You can play this to then, you know, play out another Demon Clan, and then they attack. Then you can just energy field. We only have 4. You can probably try to fit some Flying Nimbus in the deck, but yeah, this is just kind of the idea of it. You're gonna, you know, you have so many Demon Clan combinations, and because this card and this card both play out cards, or you can, you know, off your leader ability, you can play this out. And let's say you find an extra one of these, then you can play this card out, and then this card will allow you to play out an Agent Destruction card. You can just fill your board up, and it gets really nuts, very, very nuts, very, very quickly. So yeah, so we run 4 of those. We do actually run a Unison in the deck. We actually run the Bergamo Unison. The reason is because he is a 1-drop. And with this deck, you want to be very energy conservative. So you want to be able to play things, make them matter. So you play this card out for 1 energy. He's a 5k, but his +1, his +0 is he has a marker. And he gains 3k power for every marker that's on him. So you play him out for 1, you add a marker to him, he's 8k. When your opponent swings at this card, his auto ticks, and then he adds a marker to himself. So he so on turn 1, you play this card, add a marker to him, he's 8k. Your opponent swings at him, he then adds a marker to him, so then he becomes a 11k, and that can get kind of scary. The more and more markers you can get on this guy, the better. Generally, I will, if I have more of these in my hand, I'll just stack them, and I'll just go up, because eventually you're going to get to the point where he has too many markers and he's hitting for 20+ K. The -2 we don't use in this deck, but we really just wanted to have a card on board that we can always swing with and just always get value out of, because yellow doesn't have a 1 or 2 drop that just draws a card yet, so this is kind of the best option for us. It also allows us to have Vegeta Prideful Transformation on basically active the entire game, because it's going to be really difficult for our opponents to remove all these markers, especially if when you get to a certain point. Once he hits over the 20k mark, once he's at like 25k or 22k or 23k, your opponent's not going to want to combo cards into him to really take him out. It gets kind of aggravating. But Vegeta you can play. The card gets put in rest mode before he gets played, so you don't get any rest mode abilities off of it. But it is a free play, and he's also a blocker as well. The last 3 super combos we run are Zamasu, since we run a Slug as one of our super combos. We only run 3 Zamasu, but it's pretty good. The deck draws a lot, so this just gives us some defensive stats as well. 1 Champa, just for, I mean, it works with our 30k boy, because he has a 30k crit, and then you can give him double strike and 10k, so it becomes a 40k double strike crit. Also just for leader swings and Bergamo swings as well. 2 Secret ID for defensive options, being able to warp cards from our opponent's board and just kind of, you know, just do some clearing control. And then we also run 1 Supreme Kai. I personally think Xenocell would be a great option in this deck, because you run so much stuff. I think truthfully, if you were to run if you were to run Xenocell, you can probably actually take out the Turles, just not run Turles at all, and then run things like Android 13. Even though you don't get the effect off of it, it's just because it is a green battle card, and green and yellow work for you know, the Xenocell idea. So that's, if you do have Xenocell, I would recommend running Xenocell with this deck, because you're going to be able to get there pretty quickly. But this is just for the control aspect of the deck, being able to stop your opponent's battle cards in unison from attacking, and then you can warp a bunch of stuff, and that ends up being really good. That actually ends up shutting down on a turn most of the time. So that's what I have for you guys. Hopefully you guys like the idea. Like I said, it's a very interesting idea. It's not a tier 1 deck in any stretch of the imagination, but I thought it was a really fun concept deck. And you guys know I like concept decks. I like to try to have a little bit of fun trying to come up with some different ideas for the game, just to keep everything fresh and fun. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys like the idea. Let me know what you guys think down below. I will leave a deck list down below at some point. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.